Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's special episode, we answer your hard-hitting questions with another installment of Questions and Peter Panswers. Just that and a little bit more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam, question everything, Hummel.
I do question everything. I have that right as a human being to question everything.
You do. Who's to stop you?
Who's to stop me, Patrick Moistmaker Kazaki?
Oh, uncomfortable. Don't like it. Gotta move past it.
But do you get the reference?
It is a Friends reference, but still don't like the phrase. Not interested in the phrase.
If you know, you know. You know, if you grew up watching Friends, you know. And if you didn't grow up watching Friends, you might know, but you probably don't know.
My sandwich!
Those leftovers, though, Patrick, are you just buried in leftovers?
Well, Adam, not currently. Thanksgiving has not happened yet. Fun fact, everybody. We are recording out of order. The jig is up. The jig is up, everyone. We are liars here on the podcast. We do not record things as they happen.
That's true, but I would like to say I am buried in leftovers, not from Thanksgiving, just in general, in life.
I'm buried in 2020 and 2021 leftovers.
Emotional leftovers.
That's right. I'm just buried in baggage right now.
Oh, Patrick, how was your birthday?
We've already established that the jig is up, and you were asking questions only a wizard would know the answer
to. We do need to get a wizard on this podcast. That'd be great. A guest wizard.
Well, we do have two witches on the podcast, Adam, so we may as well add a wizard.
Great point, Patrick. How are you doing?
I am just delightful. We are about to present one of my very favorite segments here on the podcast. And not only that, but it is the only thing we're going to do today. And I'm very excited about that.
A full episode of Questions and Peter Panswers from our delightful Tweedles.
It's really just our holiday weekend gift to all of you. It's a real gift.
Yeah, so as Patrick mentioned, this is going to be a very special episode of GDTD in that Patrick gets addicted to pills and I confront him. And then we have a very powerful moment of healing and we come to terms and our friendship is reinvigorated.
Gets addicted to pills. Come on. Let's be clear, everybody. Addiction's hilarious, everyone. Addiction's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Only on Saved by the Bell. No, we're going to be answering questions that you, our listeners, our Tweedles have submitted. It's going to be delightful. If you have not experienced a Questions and Peter Panswers episode yet, welcome. Enjoy the experience.
And if you don't enjoy the experience, now you know. Now you know to look out for these titles.
And just skip right by these episodes. Yes. Patrick, would you like to kick us off with our first question?
Ooh, we're diving right in. I would love to do just that, Adam. I'm going to start us off with a tasting question, Adam. One for our mouths and tongues. That's right. Derek wrote into us from Instagram at boywhohaseverything. And Derek asks, I need to know what you think of Club Cool Beverly, because I was basically drove off of Instagram with pitchforks and cries of monster a la Beauty and the Beast for absolutely loving it. It's not my fault. I have a refined palate and good taste. Shrug emoji. Thanks, boys.
What a great kind of easy entry into Questions and Peter Panswers, Patrick.
And a flavorful one at that.
I will say I do not like Beverly. It tastes like aspirin to me.
Now, as we've established, I do enjoy pills, so I do like the taste of Beverly, actually. No, I actually do like the taste of it. I enjoy a bitter flavor.
And a bitter attitude.
I do exude a bitter attitude and enjoy a bitter flavor.
Interesting. So we're 50-50 on that. Yeah, I don't like it. You do like it. I guess I'm curious, is it just the bitterness? I don't even remember because I have not gone back to Beverly, which, by the way, is the name of our spinoff podcast, GDTD Back to Beverly. I have not gone back since I first had it because I just remember my face basically imploding in on itself with that bitterness.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's just an extreme bitter flavor. Now, I have to be reminded, is it the Italian version of the soda? I can't remember.
Those Italians. No, I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Yeah, fair. It seems like it would be, but someone come correct on that one. But yeah, maybe, Adam, maybe we need to start calling our Patreon members Beverlys.
Oh, I love it. A bunch of Beverlys.
I like it. We have a bounty of Beverlys among us.
They have the right to be extremely bitter. They are giving us their money.
That's true, and we are giving them sweet garbage in return.
Well, Derek, thank you for your question. I'm sorry you like Beverly, I guess.
I assume you're apologizing to both of us, but Tweedles, let us know what you think of the Beverly. Have you had it, and what are your thoughts?
Please do that. Next up, Patrick, we have a question from Jeff, who you can find on Instagram at JustJeffRiffle. Jeff asks, you've been shipwrecked and you've washed ashore on a deserted island. You can pick 3 Disney characters, real or animated, to be washed up beside you. Who are they and why?
Ooh, I like this. It's mysterious and a little sensual, maybe?
So sensual.
Here's what I would say. I feel like I need an Olaf in my life on that deserted island. Someone to keep me amused, and we can play charades all day long.
Totally makes sense. Love that choice.
Thank you so much. Next up, I think we all know that Flynn Rider is going to be there.
We all know that Flynn Rider's going to be there, yes.
You're welcome. I only bring the expected here on Gaze DVD.
And what will you be getting out of that addition to your deserted island experience?
I don't think you need to ask that question, Adam. Everyone knows the answer before you even came up with it. We're going to be doing a lot of things on that island. A lot of things. Hopefully we aren't discovered for a very long time.
All right, so you want to stay lost.
Lost in his arms, you know?
Okay.
And then I think we need a chef on the island. So perhaps Louis from The Little Mermaid.
A cuckoo bananas chef.
That's right, but he knows how to handle seafood specifically, so that's why he will be very beneficial on a deserted island.
I can't fault you for that choice. You just made your case.
Thank you so much. What about you? Who are your 3 characters?
All right, I'm going to start off with Baymax.
Oh, of course, so he can care for you.
I need that care. What if I get a splinter? What if I need some comfort? Baymax is there. You mentioned food very smartly, Patrick. I'm going to bring Remy from Ratatouille.
Yeah, great choice. Excellent choice. Remy knows what he's doing. I just chose Louis because of the seafood aspect.
And you were brilliant for choosing him. I'm choosing Remy because I think he'll bring some flavors that are unexpected on that tropical island. He'll be able to mix and match some papaya with some...
Sand.
Thank you. Yes, delicious.
And if things get rough, you can eat him as well.
If he does not provide, like I imagine he would, he will be devoured.
Oh, he'll make the ultimate sacrifice of provisions.
That's right. And then my third choice, much along the lines of Flynn Rider, would be Naveen, of course. Not only for the lovin', but also because he can provide entertainment with his music.
That's right. It's twofold. I just need the lovin', so that's why Flynn.
Well, that is your entertainment, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. That's music to me.
Oh.
Was that romantic? I don't know.
Okay, Jeff. I think there was no better way we could have answered your question. So thank you for submitting it. Patrick, where are we going next?
We are going to Disneyland next, Adam. Podrick has a question for us. Podrick is writing into us from Instagram at Freshness is Essential. Podrick says, what are your top 3 must-dos for a visit to Disneyland Resort?
What an excellent question. The top 3 must-dos.
It is a great question. We don't talk about Disneyland quite as often as we talk about Disney World.
We don't, and I apologize for that. I love Disneyland Resort. Patrick, we need to go back to Disneyland Resort as soon as possible.
Immediately, post haste.
All right, for my first choice, I'm choosing Incredicoaster.
Excellent, excellent. So we are including California Adventure within this as well.
That's correct. He said Disneyland Resort, so I'm going to throw it in there.
Great.
Wish I had more, but it's really just Incredicoaster and then you leave. No.
There's barely 3 things to do there.
I'm going to say Fantasmic in Disneyland.
It is returning. It is coming back.
And rumor has it there may be some additions to it, so we'll have to wait and see. And my third choice is very simple, and I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but it's just a nice little way to begin your day. I'm going to say breakfast at Carnation Cafe on Main Street.
I feel like that is a catchphrase of yours at this point.
It is how I choose to live my life every single day, but I think I've fully answered the question. I've given you an attraction, an experience, and a meal.
Well done. Well done indeed. I think I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to follow suit and start off with the Matterhorn. You must experience the Matterhorn, a classic, and only to be found at Disneyland.
That's an excellent choice, Patrick. An absolute classic of an attraction. Make sure you consult your chiropractor before going on it.
True story, true story. Another classic I'm going to recommend that a lot of people don't even know that's there, that we did, was the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough.
So beautiful, so magical.
Yeah, I really, really love that. I was enchanted by it. In fact, it's absolutely beautiful. Make sure you experience that. And then ending with a meal, I'm going to recommend, Adam, the lobster nachos at the Lamplight Lounge.
Yes, please.
Weren't those so good? I think we had maybe 4 plates of them on our 5-day trip.
We did return several times to Lamplight, yeah.
Every time we were there, we had the lobster nachos because they're so delicious. And I think you have to ask for them. They're not necessarily on the menu.
Okay, so just be aware, everybody. You may not see them, but they may be there.
That's a secret menu item, Adam.
Much like our participation in the podcast, you may not see us, but we may be here.
Who can say? Who knows these days whether or not we're actually here? This might just be words spliced together that we've said before.
Some AI technology putting together an episode for us. No, just kidding. Of course, we're here. We love you. Patrick, thank you so much for that excellent question. Moving on, Patrick. Here's a question from Amy, who sent us an email. Amy says, I was wondering if you had any recommendations for other Disney podcasts you enjoy. Not to replace yours, obviously. 1 episode a week just isn't enough. Crying, laughing emoji.
Oh, Amy, it's more than enough. Trust me.
So I actually have to admit, I don't listen to other Disney podcasts. I'm kind of one and done with ours. Like I put in the work on ours. I do the research for ours. I listen to ours a couple of times to ensure you're getting the freshest, most quality experience you possibly can. And then I'm kind of done with Disney for the week. So I actually listen to a lot of news podcasts like The Daily and Up First, and then some fun podcasts like Sarah Silverman's podcast and This Is Important from those boys at Workaholics, fun stuff like that. So I'm kind of off Disney. But Patrick, you listen to other Disney podcasts.
Yeah, the 2 that I mainly listen to are the Disney Buzz, which features our friends JT and Melanie. JT was actually a guest host a few episodes back. Well, more than a few episodes back, but he was on the podcast before. They are delightful. Their sort of shtick is that they have a themed cocktail that goes with each of their episodes that you can make and drink along with the episode. They're very delightful. And then I also listen to Once Upon a Scream with their friends Mikey and Ben over in the UK. They do a rotating podcast, actually. So every other week or every other episode, they have either a horror film or a Disney film. They're absolutely delightful, absolutely hilarious. They are the UK versions, I would say, of our podcast.
And Ben was a guest on the podcast. He popped into one of our Walt Quisney episodes. That was episode 155, Walt Quisney Villains. And as for JT, if you want to go check out that episode, he was in episode 135, a take 2 of DuckTales the movie.
That's right. Very fun episodes indeed. They're absolute treasures, those 4. And those 2 are both must-listens in my weekly podcast rotations, among a few others. But those are the Disney ones that I listen to.
So there you have it, Amy. Some wonderful Disney podcasts for you to check out, but don't leave us. Don't leave us, Amy.
If you do, I understand. Listen, they are probably better than us, and you may find something that you really connect with. And we don't provide that here. We don't provide any connection here at Gays Do the D.
We certainly do not know.
Well, let's move on, Adam, to a question from Bethany, who was on Instagram at HelloBethany1. Bethany says, what is your first Disney memory, and what was the inspiration behind starting your amazing podcast?
Amazing, huh, Bethany?
Agreed, Bethany. It is amazing.
What is your first Disney memory, Patrick? Is it Disneyland?
I think so, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about going to the parks, yeah, Disneyland would absolutely be my first Disney memory experience. I was about 6 years old. I've talked about it before on the podcast, so if you've heard this before, tune out, won't you? But my whole family hopped in the Suburban and drove from Minnesota to California to visit some relatives, and on the way, we stopped at Disneyland, and I do have memories of it. I don't remember the whole trip. I was a little too young to really fully take it all in, but I do definitely have Disney memories. But beyond that, I absolutely grew up watching Disney movies. Sleeping Beauty, I think, was the first ingrained movie that's in my head. I watched that movie over and over and over again.
And as for my first Disney memory, the one I keep going back to, and I've probably talked about this on the podcast before as well, is having dinner one evening at Restaurant Marrakesh in Epcot, and I insisted on wearing a suit coat because I was a classy little gay. And after dinner, my parents bought me a little Moroccan doll. She was a belly dancer doll. Aww. And she was wearing the most beautiful pink outfit. I was obsessed with her. And my parents had no idea I was a homosexual. Can you believe it?
The doll knew, Adam. The doll knew.
The doll, for sure, read me for filth. No, of course, my parents knew. They knew the suit coat. They knew the doll. They knew it was all coming together for homosexual Adam. But that's my first, real, true Walt Disney World memory. I did not go to Disneyland until I was an adult. And then for Disney movies, gosh, I don't even know. We went to so many movies when I was a kid. It was kind of like my family's weekend activity. So I'm sure I saw many, many re-releases of Disney animated films in the theater.
Yeah, when you and I were growing up, that was sort of the heyday of re-releases, because there actually wasn't a new Disney movie animated for a while. So we were of the generation who watched all the re-releases as though they had just come out.
I do remember, this is terrible, I do remember going to see Fantasia and being bored out of my mind.
Oh, I can see that, though. All the narration in between, and there's no, storyline, really. I can see that. I actually had a really fond connection to Fantasia. It stuck with me when I was younger. It still does.
Well, you were a very mature child.
Yes, and I stopped maturing at the age of 7.
That's right. It's just been a mess from 7 till now.
I've stopped maturing and growing. Fun fact.
Well, that was a great question, Bethany. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Moving on, Patrick, how about we take a question from Jared, who you can find on Instagram at jsquare3. Jared asks, what kind of new hotel, motel, Holiday Inn would you add to the Walt Disney World offering? What's the theme?
Ooh, I like this. I feel like you're asking us to produce a low-budget-ish hotel for Disney, yeah?
Not necessarily. Come on now.
Well, the inclusion of the word motel or Holiday Inn, I feel, might lean towards on the less expensive end of things.
Okay, Patrick, so what trashy motel does Walt Disney World need to add to its lineup?
Wonderful question. I don't know if this would lean towards trashy or cheap or anything like that, but I think it would be really fun. It would be really aesthetically pleasing, I think, if there was sort of a resort that was modeled after the city in Dick Tracy.
Yes.
I know that a lot of people don't necessarily consider that a Disney movie. It was Touchstone, but it's, owned by Disney. It's Disney adjacent at least. But I just think that would really be, for me, I love that, the palette that they used in that and the style and the direction, the art direction behind it. That'd be really fun. I would stay there for sure. And there would be that lounge that Breathless Mahoney sang at. I would love that.
Sooner or later, you're gonna be mine.
Exactly.
Written by Stephen Sondheim, right? That song?
It was indeed.
That man was versatile.
In several many ways.
I think that's a great idea. I think people would really be into that as we kind of lean into 90s nostalgia more and more. I mean, we're kind of like already at full lean, are we not? People love the 90s right now. So I think that would be a hot property, Patrick.
Thank you so much. What about you? What are you bringing to the table?
I would love to see, and this is not necessarily an original idea, but at one time, the Magic Kingdom resort area was going to have an Asian-inspired resort. And I think it'd be fun to kind of go that direction again, have that resort be built, and then maybe include characters like Mulan. And I know it's like tying together countries that are their own entities, but, you know, it'd be fun to have, first of all, culturally and visually, it would be a stunning resort, but it would be fun to have those characters then brought in as character meet and greets.
I love that. I love that idea. I think it would be beautiful.
Yeah, so if there's some way we could like generalize, does that sound like the most American thing I've ever said? Like generalize an Asian resort, or maybe we could just fully lean into like a Chinese resort or, you know, a Japanese resort. People would love that. That aesthetic is something that we don't really have in Disney parks aside from pavilions and World Showcase. It'd be fun to have like a fully realized resort area for an Asian country.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You could even twist it a little bit and have it be more generalized, again, and I mean this in a great way, and have it a little bit San Francisco, just like in Big Hero 6.
Yeah, maybe we lean into that more futuristic vibe with it, you know, and like have time machine portals so Mulan can appear.
I love that. That's great. That's perfect. Time machine portals.
Isn't it shocking I'm not an Imagineer?
I'm shocked every day that you don't get that phone call.
Well, thank you so much, Jared, for that question. Interesting Tweedles. If you have an idea for a resort, send it our way. I'm sure there are just a ton of wonderful ideas that haven't even been explored yet.
Oh, a billion. There's a billion ideas out there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on, Adam, to a fun one, more of a personal one, I would say. Kevin on Instagram is writing to us at Mr. KevyKevs_85. Kevin says, what would be the best part if you switched lives for a day?
Oh my God.
Kevin, that is a wonderful, wonderful question. So if Adam and I Freaky Friday'd each other, what would be the best part of it?
Oh, Patrick, I'm so sorry. What an absolute nightmare for you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting the short end of that stick, Kevin. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. If I became Patrick for a day, the best part would be... This is no offense to your husband, Dan, but honestly, getting to pal around with your dog, Ella.
My dog is the best part of my life.
She is so sweet, and she's just like this little solid muscle with a heart, although the heart is a muscle. Science, everybody. She is the sweetest little dog. I would love to just kind of like lay around, watch movies with her, and just let her use me as her own personal dog bed.
She is. She's a teeny tiny hippopotamus.
What about you, Patrick? What from my phenomenal life would be the best part of your day if we switched lives?
Well, I would see the world from a whole new height perspective. That would be
That's true.
That would be pretty great. Pretty great. But something that a lot of people may not know about Adam is that you are a very, I would say, neat and kind of orderly person in a really good way. And I would love to not live in the chaos that is my home for one full day and experience a clean and aesthetically just pleasing area.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say, but I don't think your home is chaotic.
I don't know, but if it's not chaotic necessarily, but I just you're every time I've been to your home, it's always just very neat and clean, and I do not live my life that way. Not that I have a messy home, but you know what I mean? I have things. I have not clutter, but I have, you know, decorations here and there, and I need to minimalize a little bit more.
No, you have treasures.
I'm basically Ariel. I'm a hoarder, only on land.
Kevin, did you think that this question would lead to an intervention, Patrick? We have to have a chat.
It's time. It's time.
No, I really admire your collection of Disneyana, to be honest, because I do not have that. I have very few Disney items, but I love the idea of having a room just dedicated to Disney, and you have that in your little recording studio there.
I do indeed.
So if anybody wants to steal some Disney stuff, Patrick's address is...
Well, I would never know it's missing. That's for sure.
That's a great question, Kevin. Thanks for asking. Moving on, let's take this voice memo, Patrick.
I like it.
Full disclosure, I already listened to it. It's not really a question, but it is from our beloved Auntie Myrna.
Aw, Auntie Myrna, everyone's favorite auntie.
Hi, Patrick and Adam. Auntie Myrna here from the beautiful, beautiful country of Canada. And since we have 2 official languages, je voulais te dire que tu me fais sourire à chaque fois que je t'entends votre podcast. And in just true fashion, I just wanted to let you know how truly grateful I am for your podcast. It is needed. It gives us a smile. I usually listen to your podcast when I'm doing cardio and basically fall over myself every single time from laughter and smiles. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I don't really have any feedback as far as the last episodes. I'm just so full of joy and wanted to send it your way. Mwah. XOXO. Oot and a boot.
How sweet was that?
Oh, I love that. And speak French to me anytime anyone wants to. Just start speaking French to me and I will melt. I love the sound of that language.
Oui.
Nope, you've ruined it.
Oh,
you've ruined it.
Sorry. Yes. Loved hearing that. En français, Auntie Myrna.
She's such a joy. Fun fact, as we were listening to it, I'm in a little chat group with her and some of our other tweedles from Canada, and she sent a message. So it's as though you knew we were listening to you, Auntie Myrna. Thank you. Miss you terribly. Can't wait to see you again.
Her ears were burning. Seek a doctor's treatment immediately, Auntie Myrna.
Seek attention. Let's move on to a little bit of a challenge of a question here, Adam. We have Shark Boy Toronto writing into us from Instagram, and they say, "Hey boys, here's a duo challenge for your next Peter Panswers episode. Magic Kingdom wants to put a new stage show together, but they're too busy with other projects and decided to hire GDTD to produce it. It's only 20 minutes long. You can use any 5 existing songs from the Disney library and can use any existing characters of your choice. Now pitch your Disney idea, your storyline, your stage design, and what merch will be for sale in the gift shop the guests will exit through after the show. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. Big Canadian hugs to you both." Ooh, 2 Canadians right in a row.
Back-to-back Canucks? Is that offensive to say?
I do not know the answer to that. Let us know, Canadians.
This is a great, great question. Okay, a brand new stage show at the Magic Kingdom and 20 minutes long. Yikes.
I can't stay awake past 15 minutes.
Using 5 existing songs from the Disney library. Okay, Patrick, what are you putting together?
Well, I think it's time that Disney has more of a nighttime show or like a supper club kind of a show. So I would like to see sort of a Disney on Broadway situation, maybe a showcase of songs from Disney Broadway shows that are only in the Disney Broadway show, though, that are not in the movie version of that show, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. Patrick, you've introduced synergy into the Magic Kingdom, which is a beloved tactic of many a Disney CEO. So smart of you to have them perform songs that are only featured in the Broadway shows, thereby attracting the interest of guests who will say, "Where's that song from? I need to go see that show."
That's right. Listen, I'm very wise. And who doesn't want to listen to someone belt out Home from Beauty and the Beast? Such a great song.
Such a great song. You know what else I've been listening to lately is the recording of the stage version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, I've heard nothing from that. I don't know one song from it.
Never made it to Broadway.
Yeah.
But wow, there is some powerful, powerful music in that show.
Well, they can't sit with us because they are not a Broadway show.
All right.
Sorry, Hunchback. Try harder, come correct, and maybe you can join the ranks of such hits as Shadowlands from The Lion King.
You're tough but fair, Patrick.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
I think for my show, I'm going to choose a morning show. So we've bookended the day, Patrick.
Oh, I love this journey for us.
And what I would like to see is kind of a primer for what your day in the Magic Kingdom is going to be.
Okay.
Since we're using 5 songs, I thought, what if we featured the Fab Five, and they each had their own little segment, and each one showcased one of the 5 lands, not including Main Street USA.
Love it. Genius idea.
I'm allowed 1 a year, so this is my one genius idea for the year. And then we kind of take a little tour. So we do Adventureland, and maybe we do Yo-Ho Yo-Ho from Pirates. We move on to Frontierland. Maybe, I really want it to be Blood in the Saddle, let's face it.
Clearly from the Country Bear Jamboree.
Liberty Square could be Grim Grinning Ghosts, Obvi. Moving on to Fantasyland, maybe we do a little It's a Small World, or maybe something from Peter Pan.
I like it. I like where you're going.
And then rounding the horn to Tomorrowland, obviously, there's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Which character would you assign to which of the sections of the park?
Wow. I'm going to go with...
And there is a correct answer to this question. So,
okay, there's a lot of pressure on me right now, Patrick. I'm going to go with Donald in Adventureland.
Okay, approved.
Goofy in Frontierland.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm going to go Mickey in Liberty Square.
Ooh, okay. I see it happening. Because, we need one more male to be in the Hall of Presidents. So, Mickey Mouse.
You can't put a woman in Liberty Square, Patrick.
Oh, my. These days, you're not wrong.
By the way, where is Betsy Ross? Is she a walk-around character in that land?
Ooh, wouldn't that be great? Minnie Mouse as Betsy Ross.
No, I've already made my choice. I'm sorry, Minnie.
You have.
You are going to be in the Fantasyland segment.
Okay. All right.
And that leaves Pluto for Tomorrowland.
Pluto in Tomorrowland. I like this. I appreciate your choices, but you are incorrect. I think that Minnie Mouse needs to be in Frontierland. Don't you want to see Minnie Mouse in some cowboy boots?
I do, in fact.
Just sort of a Carrie Underwood situation with Minnie Mouse.
I would love her segment to be her in cowboy boots with a baseball bat beating up a truck. Yep.
That's exactly the song I was thinking about. Have Minnie's version of that song would be excellent. Excellent.
Doesn't have a lick to do with Frontierland, but we all want to see it, don't we?
Yeah, we aren't known for making sense, but we are known for having a lot of fun along the way.
That may be the most honest commentary you've provided of this podcast. We are not known for making sense.
That's right. Gaze to the D. Doesn't matter.
And wrapping up Shark Boy Toronto's question, the merch, Patrick, what kind of merch would you feature?
Oh, I didn't even think of the merch. Okay. I don't know. Spirit jerseys. I have no idea. I don't know what the merch would be. I don't know what a good tie-in would be for my show, at least.
I think a set of cocktail glasses.
There you go. What you're a genius. You're a gosh darn genius, Adam. Thank you for fixing my answer. Cocktail glasses it is. And maybe some fun, Broadway show posters featuring Disney characters, though.
Love that. That's a great idea.
Right? You know how, in the Muppets, they have the Muppets doing movie posters, but it's Muppets? Mm-hmm. But this one would be Broadway shows with some Disney characters in the costumes.
There would be fights for those posters. Fights on Main Street.
I would be first to fight.
And I think for my merch, I'm just going to go with, compasses or maps or something that, conveys an explorer type vibe. You're going to go explore the park now after you've had this kind of introduction to the park.
I like that. I love that idea. Do you know what I miss? Disney used to do a long time ago these really beautiful, intricate maps that you could order, and they would sort of lay out your plans for the day or things that you really love and highlight them. And they went away with those because Disney hates giving away free things these days. And they were, in fact, free. I miss those. So, yeah, I would pay money to have one of those really beautiful maps again.
How much would you pay? $75?
Are you going to make one for me? Are you starting a business, Adam? Is that why you're asking?
Well, I'm just thinking if my show really does take off. I'm just doing some test marketing here.
Mm-hmm. For a personalized map, I would pay $75, depending on how beautiful it was.
All right. Okay.
Listen, if it's frameable, I'll pay a lot of money for it.
Highly frameable. Yes.
Okay, great.
All right. Thank you, Shark Boy Toronto. Excellent question. Wow, that was a thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Who asked a really dumb question to kind of balance the universe after that one? Rodri. Rodri, who you can find on Instagram at Rod Meets World, throwing a little shade Rodri's way. There, we know him. It's okay. Rodri asks, if you could only go to one Hollywood Studios land for the rest of your life, which would it be and why?
Ooh, that feels mean, Rodri. That's a mean question.
Choices will be made.
They will indeed.
I think I'm going to choose just the front of the park.
The entrance, basically.
Is that Hollywoodland, or is that? I think I'm confusing that with DCA now. But anyway, the Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard strips area there, because I want to include Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, and I want all that shopping just to like check out the merch.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially if they bring back some of the walk around characters. I don't think that they ever will, but maybe they'll fine-tune it and turn it into something else. But yeah, I think Hollywood Studios proper would be where I would spend my time, as long as it also includes Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I assume it does. So I assume we're talking about the entrance all the way to the Chinese Theater and then to the right of that.
Don't you love how technical we're getting about this question?
If it was a pie, it would be the bottom right quarter of the pie.
It's my favorite section of any single pie. Yeah, if it includes Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I need that.
Yep, I need that. Just the aesthetic, because that just is Hollywood Studios to me. The rest of them, I really like Galaxy's Edge and I really like Toy Story Land, but they could be put anywhere, frankly. They don't necessarily say Hollywood Studios, whereas this section, the beginning, is Hollywood Studios.
Agreed, Patrick. We are in agreement.
We're in sync.
Dirty Pop.
Exactly that. Well, thank you, Rodri, for your question. Incidentally, where would you go? What would be your section of Hollywood Studios? I want to know.
I love when you throw people's questions right back in their faces.
Listen, if you dare to ask us a question, you're going to get it thrown back right into your face like so many drinks.
That's right. And if you're pointing a finger at us, just remember there's 3 other fingers pointing back at you and a thumb that's kind of like pointing off in a different weird direction.
A wayward thumb pointing to someone off in the distance.
That's right. That's exactly right, Patrick.
That's the saying. Well, let's move on to another voice memo. You know how much we love getting voice memos. Parker, who's on Instagram at ADVParker, sent us this voice memo.
Hello, Adam. Hello, Patrick. It is Parker here, and I have a question for you. What is your favorite segment to do on Gays Do the D? And also, what is your favorite episode, if you can pick one, or, you can pick a couple. I can't really tell you what to do. Do what you want. But yeah, favorite segment and favorite episode. And as always, thank you so much for everything you guys do and for just creating this community for us. You guys are amazing. Anyways, looking forward to hearing your answer. Bye. Love you guys.
Parker, that's far too much energy right now. It's 9 a.m. here while we're recording, and that was a lot. That was a lot. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. I love getting voice memos, and I love energetic voice memos like that. Great question as well. This will be a learning opportunity for both me and Adam.
That's right. A 2-parter, Patrick. What's your favorite segment? And then what's your favorite episode or episodes that we've done?
Ooh, I think I have to go back, and I believe this was our very first episode. That's not my favorite episode, but the Fab 5 segment, I think I really love doing the Fab 5 segments.
I would agree with that. And it's because, if I may, Patrick, at least this is why I really like it, is because we do not, as we mentioned in the episodes, we do not share our Fab 5 lists with each other before we record. So we are truly learning about each other as we record those segments.
That's true. And also, just on a laziness scale, we don't have to do a lot of studying for them because we already sort of know what our favorite things are. And we bring some fun facts to the Fab 5 things that we choose.
Right.
But it's just us having a conversation, which I think is why I really like our Tea Party episodes as well. But the Fab 5 is just a little bit more structured and fun to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. Plus, we always get such excellent feedback when we do Fab 5 segments. And by feedback, I mean you excellent tweedles are submitting your lists, and we love to hear what you have to say as well.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I think that we should maybe go back to some of our old Fab 5 episodes and redo them and see if they've changed.
Fab 5 Redux.
I love this idea. See, this is how it happens. We just come up with brilliant ideas right here live in front of our Tweedles. And by live, I mean 1.5 weeks ago to when you're listening to it. My brain always melts when I think about podcast time. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes absolutely no sense. And Patrick, what about a favorite episode or two?
Oh, so many. I've done so many good episodes. You've done a few good episodes. I think I'm going to maybe steal one of yours out of your mouth. You may have this in your mind. But when we interviewed Susan Egan and Benjamin Rahola, that was such a special moment, I think, for both of us. Mm-hmm. We both, I know, throughout the interview kept looking at each other through podcast eyes, or through Zoom eyes, I mean, and just sort of like, what is happening right now? We're speaking to a true legend, two true legends, but Susan Egan is someone that has been very important to us for a very long time, and that was a really special episode, I think, to do.
Agreed. And on top of that, it was such an emotional roller coaster. Like, we were both crying from laughter, and then we'd pivot and she would tell a story that would just have us in absolute tears and just so moved.
And I think we got a hot take from Susan Egan that day too about the origin of the song "Home." It was, I didn't know that fact that she laid out for us, and we all just started bawling after she started talking about that. Go back and listen to that episode; it's a real fun one. I really was proud of that episode.
Some exclusives shared by Susan Egan on that episode, which was episode 118.
What about you? Is that your favorite one as well? I don't know if it's my favorite one, but it's just one that I always go back to, I would say.
It is very, very special. Yeah, I agree with that choice. But a lot of times we will do work for like an interview or for a special segment. And I'm always so proud of those segments. But a lot of times it's more when it's just you and me and we're like just being absolute doofs. That's like the most special moments of the podcast for me.
Yeah. That's true. That's why I like our more conversational episodes sometimes as well, because we just sort of have a good time and we're not taking ourselves too seriously. Not that we take ourselves too seriously all the time, but we're just having a casual chat. These episodes, in fact, are really fun episodes, and our Walt Disney episodes are always so much fun because we get to connect with a Tweedle and learn more about them, and they sort of get to see some behind the scenes with us here, which is, I think, is kind of fun for us as well, to sort of invite our Tweedles into our home while we're podcasting.
How many Tweedles after they record a Walt Disney episode do you think are like, wow, that was way less magical than I thought it was going to be?
100% of them. 100% of them.
It's true. Frequently we're like yelling at our dogs to be quiet, and they're like, what's going on here? The level of professionalism is non-existent.
I was just going to say that very word.
That was a great question, Parker. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you for sending in a voice memo. We do love those voice memos.
We do indeed. Well, Adam, I think we have time for a couple more questions, maybe. What do you say?
I say yes to that. Blair, who you can find on Instagram at adventureswith_Blair, asks, if you could get rid of one snack in a Disney park, what would it be?
What an interesting question. I love it when we go negative here on the podcast.
It doesn't happen that often. Patrick, what snack just does not do it for you and should immediately be erased from Disney history?
Great question.
If you say popcorn right now, you are going to blow my mind.
I'm going to say peanut butter fudge to make you mad, Adam. Just kidding. I would never do that to you. That would be the end of our friendship as we know it. I guess the obvious answer for me would be the giant turkey legs. And I will preface this with, I have not had one, so I cannot attest to whether or not they are tasty, but I just have... They don't sit right with me whenever I see one. They do not look attractive. They are wildly expensive. And I have to believe that this is going to be more of a serious answer than I anticipated, but I have to believe that they're not necessarily environmentally friendly, those giant turkey legs, if that makes any sense. So I think we'd be doing the world a favor. Maybe not farmers so much, but we'd be doing the rest of the world a favor if we got rid of those from the parks.
So for you, it's aesthetics and global preservation.
In that order.
Well, I absolutely agree with you. This would be my choice as well, the turkey leg. But I'm going to be less eloquent in just saying, y'all look a mess while you're eating them.
And listen, I applaud you for the bravery that it is to just just ruin a turkey leg out in the open on a hot day. You know that nobody looks good eating them. Not that that's what we should all have in the front of our mind is that, do I look good or not? But you don't. You don't look good while you're eating them. They don't look appealing to me is the thing. You know what I mean?
Right. No, they don't look appealing. And I think maybe the reason I'm so offended by them is because the confidence it takes to eat one in public is something that I have not ever had. So, like, you know, I think that eating a turkey leg in public is akin to coming out of the closet as a LGBTQ plus member, right? You're saying, I'm brave enough, I'm bold enough now to do this. And that is just a confidence level I have never had. Not to say I'm still in the closet, but I'm just saying that it's a very brave and bold act to eat a turkey leg in a Disney park.
There's also something that's just very Renaissance festival-y about the giant turkey leg, which I don't connect with. And so maybe that's what it is. I'm just not connecting with a turkey leg.
Do you feel like if you were a wench wearing a corset, you would be more apt to enjoy watching someone eat a turkey leg, or you yourself would enjoy eating a turkey leg?
I would like to maybe feed someone a turkey leg if that were the scenario.
Okay.
You know? That could be something different. Not necessarily Disney, but different. You know?
I do know.
Excellent.
There's nothing more erotic than just thwarping a giant turkey leg into someone's mouth.
That's right. Feed someone that meat. What?
Okay, Blair. Thank you for that. We've gone down an absolute mess of a rabbit hole with that, but we answered your question, so you're welcome.
That's right. Just like a turkey leg. It was an absolute mess, but it did feed you. Well, let's keep the offensive nature going, Adam, with our very last question here on this episode of Questions and Peter Pantsers. We are hearing again from Jeff on Instagram at the Disney Parks Teacher, who incidentally was a recent contestant on Walt Quizney. Check out that episode. Jeff says, "Hi guys, since you helped me plan my engagement, it only seems appropriate that you help plan my wedding." Oh, Jeff. After nearly 2 years engaged, stupid COVID, we are fully in wedding planning mode. We're getting married in April 2022 in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. Although it won't be in a Disney park, trust me, I tried, Disney will still be part of our day. What ideas do you have for Disney touches that we can include in our wedding? I'm thinking about music, decor, etc. I'd love to hear your ideas.
Jeff, coming to us for the free wedding planning advice.
Jeff, I'd like to apologize in advance to your fiancé for these answers.
I think there's some very tasteful ways we can kind of sneak in Disney moments into their wedding, right, Patrick?
Yeah, it's true. And incidentally, Jeff, just as an aside, Jeff, join me over here on the side. Everyone else, look away. Jeff, I went to Punta Cana on my honeymoon. So if you have any questions about Punta Cana, ask somebody else because I don't remember much of it. But it's really beautiful. You're going to have so much fun. And if it's open, hot tip, there's a monkey island tour. I believe that's what it's called. I think it's like a habitat or a sanctuary for these really cute spider monkeys, and they will come and eat fruit out of your hand.
And eat your face right off of your head.
Yeah, I imagine in these COVID times, it's maybe not the best idea to get face-to-face with a monkey, but you never know. If it's open, give it a try. Ooh, and also, if you want to have a little shot, have the Mama Juana. It is only available in the Dominican Republic.
The Mama Juana.
Mm-hmm. It's really delicious.
I love saying that.
It's really delicious to say and to drink.
Okay, so how are we going to incorporate even the smallest of Disney touches into Jeff's wedding?
Well, I think easy enough, and I'm sure you've already thought of this, is to add some Disney music instrumentals throughout either the ceremony or during dinner. Not necessarily the lyrical versions of songs, but just the instrumental versions. In fact, I think there's an entire album dedicated to instrumental versions, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, I love that little touch where it's a nod to your fandom, but also it's just beautiful music to listen to. And some people may recognize it, or they may kind of acknowledge the fact that like, oh, this is that song. But it's such a different kind of way of presenting a classic Disney song that everyone will enjoy it.
Exactly.
What about, because you're getting married in a tropical location, what if you found a way to incorporate little nods to characters that are from tropical or like jungle destinations in Disney movies?
Ooh, have Tarzan make an appearance.
Please have Tarzan make an appearance. Maybe you want to marry Tarzan. I don't know.
Maybe you are marrying Tarzan.
Even if it was just like the table cards, like the numbers or something like that. Like, what if it was the silhouettes of popular Disney characters that appear in tropical settings? So like Tarzan or like King Louie. Or maybe you just want to fully lean into the Jungle Book and have that like be the moment.
Sure, the Jungle Book, the Jungle Cruise, the Tiki Room.
Oh, yeah, attractions. That's another great thing. Oh, Adventureland, Patrick. That could be the way you kind of even more subtly incorporate Disney into your wedding reception.
I like this. There's going to be no shortage of mangoes or pineapples, I believe, where you are. So have some Dole Whip or something.
Dole Whip as a dessert option is an excellent call, Patrick.
My brain is spinning again. If you're not going to go the tropical theme, but something along those lines, I like the idea of the table numbers. If you're having a reception and dinner tables, maybe theme each table after one of your favorite attractions, or each table would be a different attraction, and then put a little photo of you and your husband, your now husband at the time, of you on that attraction at the table.
Wow, Patrick, amazing.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I'm not saying it.
Maybe you could incorporate a photo of me and Patrick, too, because we gave you that idea.
Maybe as a little Disney nod, you could fund our trip to your wedding, and maybe we'll officiate, maybe we'll do a little reading, maybe a little dance. Who can say? Who can even say?
You do owe us, Jeff.
We are the reason that your fiance said yes. So
these are all great suggestions. Yeah, I love the idea of theming tables to attractions. I don't know if that will go too far, if your fiance will be like, okay, Jeff, calm it down. But for my future wedding, if it ever happens, I'm stealing that idea.
Thank you so much. I mean, you could even just name the table after the attraction and then have a photo of you on the attraction, just to indicate where the table is. Instead of table numbers, you're sitting at the Jungle Cruise or you're sitting at the Tiki Room.
And there's ways that you can just do a nod to that attraction and not go like full out bananas pants wild with the theming on it.
Right, because let's be clear, you're going to a destination place. You're not going to want to carry a bunch of stuff with you just for a table theme, but, you know, just subtle touches.
And then I think for the cake, a full-size Cinderella castle, right?
Yeah, just a subtle, full Cinderella castle.
Maybe Cinderella castle with the cake theming from the 25th anniversary, and that way you get a little Inception-y on your wedding.
That's right, Jeff. I do believe you are the only one who liked that. So, there you go.
I liked it too, Patrick.
Oh, so you can attend as well, Adam. You can attend as well.
I can't wait to try it when we attend his wedding.
It had better be caramel flavored, Jeff. I just want to put that out there right now. A caramel flavored cake is what I will need at your wedding. Thank you.
So you asked for suggestions, but basically we're turning your wedding into a party we want to attend.
Yes, we will be sending you a list of demands when we get our invitations, which we'll be waiting for.
We have some Disney demands, Jeff.
That's right. And with that, Jeff, we have fixed your wedding for you. We have fixed it.
And congratulations to you and your fiance. Amazing. I know the wait has been long, but it will all be worth it. Right, Patrick? You're a married man. It's worth it, right?
Mm-hmm. Most days it is.
Well, Patrick, there's no better way to wrap up a Questions and Peter Panswers episode than with some wedding planning and some laughs.
Some chuckles amongst us. Thank you to all of the Tweedles who sent in your questions for Questions and Peter Panswers. If we didn't answer one of your questions on this episode, fear not. We do save them and we will hold them for another episode. A lot of you have sent in multiple questions, and so we just like to spread out the love.
And if you have not yet submitted a question, or if a question just springs to mind and you'd like to submit it for a future episode featuring questions and Peter Panswers, feel free to reach out to us on social media. You can DM us with your question on Instagram.
Or you can always send us those voice memos or emails to info@gaysdothed.com. Should we end with a question for our Tweedles, Adam?
What a fantastic idea.
Thank you so much. My question to you, Tweedles, is what are you doing? Why are you listening to us still? I don't understand it. No, just kidding. But we do want to know. Like, send us what do you love about our podcast? I really like that question of what do we love about our podcast, but let us know what's working for you. What do you look forward to on a GDTD podcast?
Stroke our egos.
Yes.
And also let us know what's not working for you and be very explicit about it.
I mean, I really do truly want to know what isn't working because we will cut it immediately. We are not tied to anything here.
I foresee comments like, the chemistry between the hosts isn't really panning out for me.
I could do with less of the two of you and a little more just silent airtime. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.